Did I make the cut today with an even? That's not Crash. Crash Test Dummies is like, once there was a guy who ordered 10 chicken McNuggets at the drive-thru window. And then Interpol's like, you know, it's like a 3-minute, 11-second long song that ripped through all the underground Brooklyn indie rock venues about how they put barbecue sauce in the bag even though you ordered sweet and sour. Okay, I'm a second round Andy here. Ooh, they did sell out for a Burger King commercial? Good, I love that for them. It's beef, and it's charbroiled, and it's flame-grilled meat on bun. So like that? Watch out for Billy Square. He's going to win in a tiebreak later. Listen.
Well, this one's
Ooh!
What are we looking at for this putt?
Yo, Jeff Gersman, thank you for the raid.
Feet from the cup.
As a fellow man of a certain age, it's just something about being on the green on a Tuesday, right? Tuesday at 1:45 Pacific Standard Time. I got a question for you, and maybe you would know. Maybe your audience would know. Do golf courses close? What's the latest tee time you can have on a golf course? Because I know like people start golfing at like 6 a.m. sometimes. 4 p.m., 6 p.m., depends on the course. 2 hours before sunset, you can still go for 9 holes only. I had no idea. You can't golf at night with like a glow-in-the-dark ball or something?
Looking good.
Ooh! He's bad, just needed the raid, I'm back. I do better under pressure when there's people watching me. What do you mean I shanked it? Can I hit you with a controversial take? This take's not going to be popular. And that's why I'm excited to say it. I think that the worst kind of bowling is cosmic bowling.
What's going on out there?
I like bowling. I don't get to do it very much because it must be a bad business because like bowling alleys just keep disappearing and they never open any new ones. But like I like going to a bowling alley and just bowling and having fun. But when you go to a bowling alley and it's like they got the black lights up and the planets are zipping by and the shooting stars and they're playing like Pat Benatar's Hit Me With Your Best Shot and stuff like that, that's not so much for me. They got the bumpers up. People are like, hey, sir, can you play a little faster? My kid's going to go. And I'm like, I'm trying. This is a league game. I'm in an asynchronous league game. Hey, Mad Dog Nation, by the way, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Must be a bowling alley owner who hates cosmic bowling. You can't be a bowling alley owner. No, I'm not trying to be rude. This is no disrespect. No bowling alley owner is gifting 100 subscriptions. The margins are too low. It's one of those businesses that offends me. I know this is like a streamer talking, so like I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's one of those things that offends me because it's expensive, but also the business doesn't do well. It's like whenever like you see a movie theater owner be like, our theater is going to have to close. I'm like, really? It's not a good business getting people to pay $20 to sit in a chair that you bought 30 years ago for 2 hours to see a movie that somebody else made and gave to you? I get that you gotta pay I'm sure you pay a rate to the studio based on your ticket sales or something like that, but at the same time, don't put that on the consumer, man. Don't try to guilt me into paying $23 for popcorn just so that you can keep giving 90% of your revenue to Warner Brothers. Do you realize the overhead of a movie theater?
That hurts.
Listen, I don't know how much money it takes to run a movie theater, but I do have a living room, so I have like a general concept of some of what's involved.
Not really what they were hoping for there.
They're not profitable. Well, to be fair, like neither is my living room.
For him, well, it's about 185 yards out.
Going with the hybrid.
It's true. I am going with the with the hybrid. Thanks for bailing me out of that one. I
That's a
appreciate
shame.
it.
Had a chance to hit the green, but couldn't quite get there.
Hard to control the distance when you're coming out of the rough.
You know what's funny? Chad did not like the movie theater take. That's fine. I accept that I can be wrong sometimes.
This can go down.
But
He'll save par.
I could say exactly the same thing about restaurants, and chat would plus to it. I should have gone for restaurants instead.
Confirms the par.
People be like, it's a really hard time for restaurants right now.
Let's head to this lengthy par 4.
It's just, it's really hard to stay in business getting people to pay $19 for a chicken sandwich with $3 worth of ingredients. I didn't feel good about saying that, but so many people are saying +2 right now that I think, I bet this is how every streamer starts out being like, I'm just going to play League of Legends, and then they become politics streamers. Because when you say things that people agree with, it feels so good. Like you feel like you're doing something right.
Yeah, that's
And when you
just
play
not
League of
good
Legends, you
form.
know you're doing something wrong. So like it's a natural pivot.
Looks to be going with the 6-iron.
Oh, I didn't see this as possible. What a shot.
Would it be possible for me to get more than 10 frames per
Yep, they
second?
Houdini'd that. That's brilliant.
And this putt to move into the top 10.
That's not good. Sink it? I wish. I wish, brother.
Yeah, that looked to be a bit of a misread. Just 6 feet between he and the hole. There it is.
How am I
Now
doing here?
4 back after that.
15th place, 4 strokes back.
It's time to step on the tee here at the 5th.
If you see 4 movies a month, Movie Pass pays for itself. But then you need to see 4 movies a month. So, so true.
Going with the 7.
I'm thinking of becoming one of those guys. I used to love movies, okay?
That's not what they were looking for.
Even when they sucked, I loved going to the movies. Then I'm no longer in a position in my life where I can make it to the movies because we have a young child and no people our age that we're friends with have kids. So you know how they say it takes a village to take a child or to raise a child? Well, too bad. You don't get to watch any movies anymore. So I'm thinking of becoming one of those guys who, rather than like accept that the world is the same and he's changed, I'm thinking of becoming one of those guys who's like, the last time I went to a movie theater was the year 2020, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. One 16-year-old took out a cell phone and sent a text to their mom saying, I'm fine, I'll be home in an hour and a half. I'm just watching the last 20% of Matt Reeves' The Batman. And I said, does anybody else see what's going on here? Oh, you think houses are too expensive? Well, I haven't eaten at a restaurant since 1991.
Sitting at -1.
You know, one of those guys. We all know a guy like that. It's not me. I'm pretending to be that guy. You know, one of those guys who's like, oh, the movie didn't open to $100 million. Blame the marketing department. I didn't know that this movie existed. By the way, I receive all of my news from a free newspaper that is exclusively there to push advertisements on me. It comes from a dispenser at the front of my local grocery store. I don't own a television. I listen exclusively to AM radio conspiracy theorists, and I didn't know that the Haunted Mansion was coming out. I listen to CB radio 12 hours a day. I didn't know that the Haunted Mansion was coming out. If I knew that it was, I haven't been to a movie theater in 8 years, but if I knew the Haunted Mansion was coming out this weekend, I would have gone, man.
Looking really good, this one.
One of these days.
Right on 4 feet. Should make this one.
This is what they have left for a par.
If you haven't
Take
eaten
that.
at a restaurant
Trophy
in
one for the tournament. Let's see what happens here on the 7th.
15 years, what have you missed? I'm not saying this sarcastically. I'm saying like there have been changes in food trends. What would blow your mind at a restaurant if you haven't eaten in a restaurant? Let's say you went to prison for 10 years.
And Henny, what's he facing with this one?
And from about 100.
A loss in quality all around. I'd have to disagree with you on that one, brother. The cost, sure, the cost is higher now. No doubt about that. Poke bowl, Brussels. It's so true. I'm picturing like an advertisement. Brussels sprouts are back.
4 shots off the pace.
Me picking up my friend from prison. He was there. The crime isn't relevant. Yes. Me picking my friend up from prison. He's been there for 10 years for embezzlement. You won't believe this, brother. Brussels sprouts are back. Hey, man, what changed while I was on the inside? Donald Trump became the president. The Minnesota Vikings still have not won a Super Bowl, and Brussels sprouts are back. Me driving him to the mental hospital because he tried to kill himself after I told him how the world has changed in the last 10 years. Ghibli.
Almost went in the bucket. This putt just 5 feet away from the hole.
Solid little par.
Oh, for
That gets
par.
the job done. He finds himself in a share of 15th position. Let's
The
see
best
what
players in the National Basketball Association are Greek and Serbian. That's not going to make it. Rise of Korean food. It's true. It's been a big trend for sure. LeBron, come on, nephew. LeBron's still, he's great. He's probably a top 20 player, but he's no longer like a consensus top 5 player, man. Come on. Egg-nose ball. Top 10? Come on.
with the 5 wood.
This could be it. Oh.
This player's dialed in. What a shot. Well, that's a handy shot.
He is. He was on a broken ankle in the playoffs. Yeah, well, you know the difference? Luka Doncic's ankles don't break, so he's better. Conditioning and bone density is part of being the greatest of all time, okay?
Oh, so close. Well, this
Doncic is so badly conditioned.
And there it is.
Did I say Doncic? I meant Jokic.
Teeing off now on the 9th hole.
I meant John Wall.
Now, this one looks to be heading down the runway.
Olivia Munn, John Wall, Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura's here, everybody. Rui Hachimura made it to the Western Conference semifinals this year with the Los Angeles Lakers, the favored team of one Chiblee. Why do you know so much about the Washington Wizards? They're the NBA team that's closest to me by geographic position. I live in Vancouver.
This is the stuff we love. Getting after this par 5 in 2.
Absolutely love watching a player be bold and be rewarded.
Be what? Did he say? Wow!
Lovely stroke. Had eyes for the whole way. I will take that and a spot in the top 10 to boot.
John Wall tore his ACL just walking around in his damn house.
Back 9, the 10th.
Yeah, and Joe Sakic suffered a career-ending injury, getting 3 of his fingers eaten by a snowblower, but that doesn't mean he's not, one of the greatest centers of all time. What are you talking about? It's true! That's Joe Sakic, Colorado Avalanche gamer, hockey player. He was already injured. While he was injured, it snowed. He used a snowblower to try to clear the snow to be a good neighbor. The snowblower jammed. He put his fingers into the snowblower and like ripped 3 of them off and then retired.
Oh, almost went in. A chance to
Sakic
save the
was not
par
carried
to
by
make this one.
Forsberg. Listen, they both carried the Avalanche along with Rod Blake and Sandis Ozolinsh. But come on,
Oh, yeah, this is tracking nicely.
Sakic was Sakic and Forsberg was Forsberg. When Forsberg left the Avalanche both had success. The Avalanche still had success.
On the tee now.
And when Forsberg left the Avalanche, Forsberg still had success.
That's the kind of strike
That's the
gonna
mark
make
of
them
2
come
greats.
back
We don't have to
every
tear
game
them
of the
apart, okay? What about Patrick Waugh? Patrick Waugh
league. Sitting
was
at 2 under par.
Patrick
Just on
washed
the
by
fringe
then.
of
He
the top
got
10.
lucky. The Avs needed David Abisher.
Going with a 3-wood here.
Nice out the rough here.
What a genius club up.
Yeah, that was all they could do. Just
Patrick
to
Waugh
count
quitting
it out
Montreal
and then
live,
try and get up and
one of
down.
the all-time greatest sports moments. Yeah, like it broke my heart when I was like 7 or 8, but whatever. I guess it's like a great moment for stories or something.
Play.
Gotta say, his short game is phenomenal.
My favorite team, my favorite player,
Tee of a par 4.
total idiot coach who's never coached any other team in the National Hockey League before, decides to leave him in while Detroit lights him up with like 12 goals in a row.
Around 110 yards out.
Come on.
3 shots off
Come on,
the lead.
Mario Tremblay. The damage Mario Tremblay did to the Montreal Canadiens is still being felt to this day. Bounce me. Ooh.
That's a terrific shot and sets up a birdie opportunity here at the 12th. A putt for a place in the top 10.
They lag switched me, bro.
Good, wasn't it? You know, Luke Donald once made all 400-plus attempts inside 3 feet on the PGA Tour.
This.
They hit me with the lag switch.
Welcome to this hole. It's a par 5.
Host advantage.
Yep, give yourself a pat on the back.
What's the... I did like that you said, welcome to this hole. It's a par 5. Me when I have to record lines to introduce every hole in my golf game, but I only booked 3 minutes of
And here we
studio
are with the
time.
third shot. Just 3 strokes back.
Goodbye, Tomo. It's been nice. Stay out of the cords and don't you bite them.
Lining up the birdie putt here.
What were we talking about? I was going to say, listen, like, it's not nice to laugh at somebody for being hurt.
That's
But
frustrating.
what do you think is the funniest sports injury of all time?
And down it
Like
goes.
somebody spraining their ankle while playing basketball is not funny. That's just
At the
sports.
14th hole.
Joe Sakic having to end his career because his fingers got chopped off by his own snowblower. I don't know if I'd say it's funny, but it's at least remarkable. It's unusual. Wasn't there like an NHL player who injured himself playing like Dance Central or something like that?
That's an absolute
What is the Sammy Salo one again?
Fantastic look upcoming.
I forgot about the Sammy Salo one.
good birdie. And that will take
He was like picking up his kids' Legos or something and broke his back.
fresh off a birdie. A great opportunity to build on that momentum.
They're needing to make something special happen, and I can't think of a better opportunity than now on this short par.
Or, yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Gus Frerotte in the NFL celebrating a touchdown by bashing his head into the field goal posts and giving himself a concussion. Plaxico Burress shooting himself in the leg at a club.
Yeah, that'll work. That's fine.
Okay, Henny. What's he looking
I guess
at?
there are some silly
Yeah,
ones.
they've left it in the perfect spot here, just below the hole. They can be aggressive.
What are
on
we
the
at?
hill.
What hole is this? 15? We can
Now
finish this
4
quick.
under for the tournament.
Managing
I thought he
to
was cleaning his
chase
gun at
down the
home.
leaders, closing
No, that was
gap.
John Morant, and it wasn't a gun. It was actually, it was a weird coincidence. He was in a car with his friends playing with a gun-shaped lighter that he bought.
The 16th
He was
hole, the team
pretending, he
consists
was
of a
pantomiming as if it was a
course
gun.
ridge and one
But it
course
wasn't a
ridge.
gun, is the thing.
Obviously, no hope leaving it short with your second shot in the water at 16. So most players bailing out, hitting it just over this green.
No,
If
no,
they
no,
draw
no,
a
no.
decent line,
This is
they can
perfect.
chip it close, make
Never
birdie.
tell me the
However,
odds.
not so easy, and there's a couple of low areas.
We're so insanely back.
Long of this green.
A chance to move into the top 5 on the leaderboard. A good putt to make. Gallant attempt. And this putt to move into a tie for 4th place.
Still got a birdie, though, right?
Yes, they've made it.
Yes, they've made
There
it.
goes. Always positive coming off a birdie. Let's see what happens here. Looks to have chosen the 7-iron.
A hole-in-one could win the tournament here. I don't think it's happening. Damn, 0-mile-an-hour wind really caught up to me.
Well, he means business. Coming out, hitting shots like that against HV3. I think Harold's just as surprised as I am.
I'm cruising
Down,
again.
That's birdie number 5, and that will take
London
it
or
to 6 under.
Fortnite tomorrow? I don't know. I think we might play Codenames tomorrow. I don't have any confirmation of that yet. But Chiblee opened negotiations by suggesting an old-school RuneScape hardcore group play, and I said, how about Codenames? That's where we're at in our
They make another.
Yes, the only
in
one
our
that could
present
hurt now,
negotiation.
triple bogey.
Choosing the 9-iron here.
And as you know, I wrote a little book called The Art of the Deal.
Shot from him. He'll be pleased.
So if Chiblee thinks he can outdeal me, he's going to have to deal with me and Olivia Munn. And Ripley, believe it or not, I wrote it. I wrote the book. You read it, or maybe you didn't.
Okay, steady now. Well, it all comes down to this, and just like that.
Tie broken, Jason Day wins.
What a grind this last few holes were for this player. They got it done. Late charge.
Okay, let me see if my wife is ready to stream. We came 5th
Well,
again.
that was another spectacular day's viewing. I certainly enjoyed bringing the action
Hello.
alongside Rich Beam and Henny. What did you
Are
witness
you
down there?
ready
A victory
to
over
stream?
Harold Varner III?
Smiley face. She just went live.
What I witnessed. I need to go and
Fantastic.
sit in a dark room
Let me
and think
slash
about
marker